everybody.
everyone. We are so excited to be here today. My name is Aeriol Ascher, and I am proud to be here today for our Awakened Leaders book talk. Today, I will introduce you to some of our fabulous authors from our book, Awakened Leaders, Empowering Stories of Self-Healing, Triumph, and Transformation. I couldn't be more pleased. So today on our agenda, we have something really great for you. Each of our authors will, of course, they're going to go ahead and reveal to you the title of their chapter, as well as what made them lean forward for our project at this time to be featured as an awakened leader in our book. Now, I think it's nobody is a stranger to how weird our times are right now. So I just think that it is perfect and divine timing that we all came together at this time in this project. It's a wonderful project, and our audience is going to be so excited to find out what each of the authors has to share with you. Before I have the authors come on and talk to you about their chapters, I would like to go ahead and read to you our mission statement. Hang on one second here. Let me get this up for you. I would love to read for you our mission statement. The purpose of our book project is to raise the consciousness of the planet by empowering as many people as possible. By stepping forward as awakened leaders, we hope to offer hope, inspiration, and guidance to others as we evolve into a more enlightened way of being and a more purposeful way of living. By sharing our empowering stories of self-healing, triumph, and transformation, we hope to inspire others to live their life to their highest potential. It's our belief that by co-creating our project as a collective, that we can reach and empower the most people on the planet, and in doing so, heal the planet itself. We are so excited to be here with you today and to unveil some of the chapters of our upcoming book project. Now, you're going to want to lean in to each of the authors today. And remember that on April 20th, our book will launch, and you can get that book for the special low price of $1.99 for just that day. So keep marking your calendars for April 20th so you can be sure to get your copy for only $1.99. Now, before I break off, I think that it's about time I introduce you to our authors. First up today, we are going to have the fabulous Alan Grenwoolf, and Alan is going to tell you a little bit about his chapter and what you can expect to find and expect to learn. Alan, take it away. You're going to have about 10 minutes. Just share with the audience what comes from your heart and a little bit about what they can find out in your chapter.
It is a joy to be here with everyone. So folks, before I tell you a little bit about my chapter, let me ask you a few questions. What is your purpose in getting up each morning? Are you living each day to its fullest? How about enjoying the beauty of the day, the sunshine on your face, the smell of the fresh morning air? What about that beautiful smile that's just for you? What makes your day truly worth living? Hold on to that thought. Life is a wonderful gift to be lived to the fullest each and every day, not ever to be taken lightly or squandered away. The love you share with that special someone, your family, your friends, that is what life is truly all about. I'd like to share a little bit about my chapter. It's entitled Touched by Love from the Other Side. And the experience I had writing the story of my beautiful wife and in her going home after her bout of cancer. It's about how we met, we lived, and how we prepared for her going home. Even though it was inevitable, I was not prepared for the events of those last days or of the outcome. When it finally did happen, grief stepped in and took me to a realm of non-existence. I was quite literally lost and struggled at first to get through those first 3 months. I was in a fog, standing still when all of the world kept on going without me. I actually felt the moment when I even questioned my own existence too. That's when my soul and that heavenly grace stepped in and said, that was not my path. Grief at that time was my enemy, leaving me so incapacitated at times I couldn't see straight. It grabbed me like no other enemy has ever had a grip on me before. I dealt with it, I argued with it, I cried in anguish. I cried until I dried up inside. But what I found out later on was that grief has a purpose, one that affects every sense of the body's mechanisms in so many ways. Everyone is different and the circumstances are not the same. But for me, my sight, my touch, the smelling, the hearing, and the feeling of her energy was not only coming to a screeching halt, but I was in shock and my body did not know what to do. I found out the hard way that grief is not only a necessary pathway to travel through, but that it is purely a journey for your own body's mechanisms, not necessarily for your soul's purpose, which knows exactly what it wants to do. But at this time in your life, you're unable to listen to it. After living a certain way for so long, your body has to go through a detox of sorts. Basically because it's not receiving all of the endorphins, the feeling sensations, the positivity, the love, and the security from your loved one. As time passed slowly, I healed a little bit each day. With the help of my family members and dear friends, I was able to right myself and go forward. Having all of their support was a saving grace for me, but I still had to take the journey by myself in order to progress through it. I took up journaling at a suggestion from where I don't remember. I wanted to remember my time with my wife, and putting it into writing was just the avenue I needed. I'm glad I did, because a few months after she left, I was already beginning to forget some of those precious memories I wanted to embrace and take with me. Shortly after I started my journaling, I had an over-the-shoulder whisper from my wife saying this would make a great story. And voila, here I am. I have found a true passion for me in writing now, one that I didn't even know existed. But that wasn't the only thing. My journey was also just starting to take off in another direction. One of my favorite quotes from a Reiki master that I have, that's always stuck with me over the time, and it says, "We are not physical beings having a spiritual experience, but rather we are spiritual beings having a physical experience." My journey in life has led me to many things and to many answers that I have pondered over time. I found that heaven is not in the clouds in some faraway place. Each person has their own perspective on exactly where it is and how it looks. But in my opinion, heaven is all around us and here on earth as well. Only it's hidden behind a veil of forgetfulness. It's with our mind's eye and our intuition that we can still communicate with our loved ones on the other side. And they are constantly reminding us that they are much closer to us than we think. I've also found that in my healing journey, this journey of letting go is not one of forgetting. It's not a path of leaving everything behind, but one of transformation, so that the experiences and the memories are lighter and you can take them with you. It's also one that you can recall anytime for love, support, or for guidance along the way. All you have to do is ask. I have been led on a wonderful healing path. I have found out more about myself, what I want out of life, and the reshaping of it, finding what my soul truly desires. I have found love again from within myself, which really was never gone, but only hidden by my closed mind. The love of my family, my friends, of beautiful people around me has only blossomed for me to more than I can ever have imagined. The final pieces of my new life are coming together. I do find myself looking back at those past times occasionally, as that will never go away completely. It's still a part of me, and it will always be there if I ever want to journey back. I can see the wonder ahead of me, knowing I haven't lost anything at all. I'm guided by a heavenly host of spirit guides and angels, with my wife leading the way. Now I'm taking a deep breath, looking at my new life, smiling with delight, as I know I will be met with open arms and so much more love and possibilities than I've ever thought possible. Realizing that I have been divinely guided all along, and having the confidence to step forward once again and truly live. My wife has been home for almost 2 years now. This journey, although painful at times, opened my soul to let the true me out. With family, friends, and even complete strangers with a kind word, has shown me that Spirit is always with us, guiding us if we only choose to listen. I am so grateful, and I wish to pass this on, pay it forward, so to speak. I've come forward at this time to be of help to others, offering my support, mentoring as a spiritual leader and guide in matters of handling grief, spiritual help, or guidance. To be that someone who can look in from the outside and give a fresh new perspective on life for your wonderful journey here. Why do I get up each day? For me, it's about the love I feel in that smile that is just for me. From my beautiful people, from my family, from my dear and close friends. That alone inspires me to become the light worker I am, reminding everyone who we truly are, loving spiritual beings having a physical experience. I invite you to visit my website, alangrenwoolf.com, or email me at alangrenwoolf@gmail.com. I have a new startup venture that I will share, and I have other services available for your health and spiritual self. They're under construction right now, but hopefully they'll be finished soon. Thank you so much for inviting me in today, and I sure appreciate you being here. May your journey always be blessed. Namaste. Thank you.
All right. I think that was my cue. Bravo. Bravo. Thank you, Russ. How wonderful. Let's get our other authors on here so we can all congratulate you.
Yeah, thank you,
Russ. Thank you.
Very good. Hey, Russ, I was noticing, or excuse me, Alan, while you were talking, I wanted to let you know that Holly Chadwick, one of our favorite, one of our fellow authors, is online watching us here, and she says to break a leg, so that's to you and everybody else. After I didn't want to interrupt you with the comments. Let's see, who else do we have? Happy to be here. So we have some... Look at this one is very nice. Sorry for your loss, Alan. Am glad to hear about your healing journey. I also use the "we are not" quote in her upcoming book. Sending you blessings. Thank you so much for that. Very great. And one more, just a nice thanks. There you go. It's so nice to get feedback and to really get that in time audience feel, because doing things online the way that we're doing them now really isn't the same as being in the energy and with your audience. I would love to hear from Riya and Cathlene and Matthew what they thought. Let's start with Riya. Riya, what did you think of Russ's presentation?
That is amazing. I feel touched with that. Thank you for sharing your story with us.
Thank you, Riya.
Yeah, we really appreciate. Cathlene and Matthew, would love to hear from you guys and what you thought of Russ or with Alan's presentation there.
Well, we love you, Alan. You know that. And we're very excited to read the entirety of your chapter, which we haven't gotten a chance to do yet.
And just the first sentence brought me to tears. So it's going to be beautiful. I'm very excited to read it.
Yeah,
and the presentation was beautiful.
Thanks, guys. Love you too. You betcha. Big hugs.
Really wonderful. Really wonderful. So remember, everyone, you can get your hands on Alan's chapter on April 20th, and you can get your hands on the whole book for only $1.99 for the first 24 to 48 hours of our book launch. So that is a really big deal. I'm going to mute our authors. We can hear you guys. What I would love to do now is I would love to share with you all. I'm going to take my authors off the screen before we move on to our next subject. But I would love to share with you all. I've been collecting all of our reviews and things. This is not the one I wanted. I'll save these for later because those aren't the right reviews that I had for you guys. So I'll regroup and read you the reviews. Those were the ones from last week. So I'll wait and give you the ones from this week so we have fresh ones. So I won't waste any more time, and I'll let our audience lean into our second author. I'm very proud to present Riya Wang, who is going to tell us a little bit about her chapter today and about why she's leaning into the Awakened Leader project at this time, and just what you can expect to learn and find out from her chapter. Okay, Riya, I'm going to leave it to you. Go ahead and tell us all about your chapter and share some of your beautiful magic with us.
Thank you, Aeriol. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here to share my chapter with all of you. And also, thank you, Aeriol, for your encouragement. I think without you, I couldn't get this done. I feel so much scared to put that on there. So thank you, everybody. Before I share my chapter, I would like to invite all of you. Imagine 52 years ago today, in the small village in the mountain in southern China, a baby girl just born. After the day she was born, she was be sold to another family. After the day she arrived to this world, she is be abandoned. That baby girl is me. That is my story I shared in my chapter. The name will be The Journey to the Wholeness. We all want to know, we all want to have the family, friends to love to us. We, especially our parents, go through that trauma I was sent, go through that as I grew up. I feel to be lost, scared, then increased my self-doubt, self-stress, the self-criticism. I was feel lost. I know many of us to feel scared, lost, especially in this world, what's happening now. Sometimes we feel scared with many different reasons, but I want to share with you that it's okay. We can find our strength to change our life. I want to share with you in the past 40 years, my biggest fear was no one will love me. The fear be abandoned, then make me think, wow, if I work hard, if I build a successful business, if I taking care of other people, that will make people think I have value, think I will be lovable, is that I will find my happy. But that wasn't completely true. I remember after the years I work really hard, after I built my business, I bought a few houses, I still feel is there not enough. I still feel something missing. I still want to prove my value. So I become the overachiever, the all overachiever with the feeling not good enough. That causes a lot, traumatic. The stress causes a lot, the health issues. When I still remember when the day when I was at the work, that day, something triggered me. I feel the stress. Then I feel my body was shaking. I couldn't stop the shaking. I even couldn't pour in a glass of water to myself. I feel my heart is jump out my chest. I feel I'm dying. So that day I called 911. I had a panic attack. When I was at the ER, I remember when the lady come to me, she asked me, she's a nurse, she asked me, are you okay? How are you? At that moment, I heard the voice. I heard the voice inside me to ask myself, think, Riya, if you die today, is that how you want to live your life? Is that your life meaning to you? Is that how you end your life? At that moment, I know I need a change. I know I don't want to live my life like that anymore. I want to find what is the meaning of my life. So after the 6 months, I go through a lot of questions, what I want to do in my life. Then I decide to sell my business, to sell my house, to sell everything I owned. I went to this unknown journey. I will travel 3 months through the Tibet village. I will stay in 13,000 high, that mountain in the Tibet, the monastery, started chanting meditation with the monks. I will go through 3 months in India. I will do the 10 days silent meditation. I was meditating 12 to 15 hours a day for 10 days. I will be sit in front of the pyramids in Egypt by myself, then meditating for 2 weeks. Go through my journey. That is a lot. It's a lot fears, a lot of tears. Also, I find a lot of joy. Go through that journey. I learned a lot of healings. It's a lot discovering. I want to share all of that with you, is that don't let anyone convincing you cannot make your dream. You cannot live in the life you dream for. You have your own power. You can change that. I want to share all with you. Remember, you are unique. You are special. You are who you are. Just be yourself. That is enough. So after all of my journeys, after I go through that, all of the healing, today, as I'm a transformation healing the coach, I find my passion. I find my fulfillment. I lead my clients go through with their journey, then connect with their true self, to believe in themselves, to find their inner strength that they can be the leader to their life. If you find my stories that is resonate with you, if you like to learn something that can change your life, if you like to unleash your power, then that is my story. There, I'm excited you to read. My story in the chapter is help to bring more encouragement, more courage to your life when you go through your challenge. So if you want to, I can't wait to hear your stories. If you like to share your story with me, you can find me through my website, Zen-Quincy Art of Healing. That I love the name, Zen-Quincy Art of Healing. Think about the frequency. Take F out, put the Zen, Zen-Quincy Art of Healing. Also, you can email me through my email address, Riya1369@gmail.com. I want to hear your story. I want to be there with you. I want to hold the space, encourage you, and guide you with the transformation healing tools that be on your journey with you. Thank you so much. I'm so excited. I'm getting excited also in the same time. I get a little bit nervous to talk with this camera, so I cannot see anybody's eyes. I hear my own talking here. Thank you so much. I want to send much love to all of you.
Well done, Riya. Bravo, bravo. I have some comments to share with you. Let's bring the other authors on so that you know you're not alone, right? Here we go.
Yes, not
Let's
alone.
see. Yes, from Val, you are loving and lovable, Riya. So that's very wonderful. We have some more from you here. Thank you for sharing, Riya. What a courageous person you are. Namaste. Isn't that wonderful? We're getting all kinds of feedback for you here. Thanks for telling us your story, Riya. I'm glad that you also found your own way in this life. Very good. Very good. Okay, now let's ask your fellow authors what they thought of your presentation, Riya. I know you were a little nervous, but I thought it was just great. I think you did a wonderful job. I think that your huge heart shows through, and that everybody just has to lean in and listen carefully to your story. Alan, what did you think of Riya's wonderful story? Alan?
Wonderful.
There you go.
It's wonderful to know you. But also, too, you reminded us that, yeah, years ago, things in other countries are done differently. And we in the States are kind of not really sensitive to that, you know? And so to hear a transformational story like that is very moving, because it reminds us that other cultures do things so much differently. And you are such a champion to go through all that and come out on top. And you truly are an awakened leader and a winner in my book.
Absolutely. She's just wonderful, isn't she, you guys?
Thank you,
Now,
Alan.
Yes.
Riya and I have known each other for several years and even traveled together to Sedona to do some sound healing together and Riya, your story is amazing and your presence is amazing. We just love you. And Holly, one of our other authors in the project, says, "Bravo, Riya. I can't wait to hear more about your journey in your book chapter." So your authors are watching you. And we also have another one. Here's Robyn, Goddess of Joy, just drops in a heart because she couldn't make it to be online with us today. And she told me that she was going to be listening in. So I love that she dropped us this green healing heart. Very nice. Thank you so much, Robyn. Thank you for leaning in. Cathlene and Matthew, what did you think?
I thought it was amazing. Rhea, I feel your heart, and just you express your journey in a way that I just can't wait to read your chapter.
Absolutely. I'm very excited to read it, and the depth and the journey that you've been on. I had no idea. In the little bit that we've communicated up to this point, I had no idea what your story was really going to be about. And it's amazing. And I'm very excited to read it.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Catherine. Thank
And
you.
it feels very powerful.
Yeah, so what the audience doesn't know is I'm probably the only one who's read all of the chapters. Some of you have read each other's chapters, but the authors are also hearing about each other's stories and chapters live right now. So part of the reason that our authors are commenting here and everything is because this is the first time, even though we've all been working together for about a year now, this is the first time that each of the authors are actually sharing their stories, because as we go through the project, we've just been going through the project. So there hasn't been that much back and forth about the chapters. So that makes us even more excited about this event and being able on these live events to uncover the titles of the chapters so everybody can see them. Now, I'm going to take everybody off the screen just for a moment before I have Cathlene and Matthew come back up, because I've got my slides together finally here. Thank you for your patience, everybody, with all of that. But I just wanted to read you a couple of the wonderful reviews that we've been getting. And I didn't want to read the same ones as last week. So here we have them. This book has something for everyone. The stories speak to anyone seeking growth and understanding on their own self-healing path. The pages are filled with honesty and inspiration. And after hearing Alan and Riya speak, I think that we can all second that. I think that everybody will agree with this. This review is from the wonderful and beautiful Heather Larkin, who is an international best-selling author. She was in our last book project, Empowered Self-Care, and she's also the owner and founder of KC Holistic Healing over in Kansas City. So big shout out to you and big thank you to you, Heather. We really, really appreciate that. I'm going to read another one while I'm here. Oh my gosh, the amazing Maureen Ryan Blake. She's the founder of The Power of the Tribe. You can listen to her show on the Voice America platform. And she writes, "In a time calling for healing, Awakend Leaders is just what the doctor ordered. Aeriol Ascher brings forth another powerful book filled with joy, love, and inspiration. Start your own healing journey today with Awakend Leaders." Well, you can't get it today, everybody, but you can get it on April 20th. Make sure to save the date. You're going to want to get that book on our book launch date is April 20th. You'll be able to lean in and get that book. So be watching for all of our lives, be looking for all of our links. You'll be able to get that book for the first 24 to 48 hours for only $1.99, because we want to make sure that it is accessible to everyone during these crazy, crazy times. Okay, I think we're ready to go on to our third group, I'll have to say group of speakers. Our only couple of speakers this time around is Cathlene Michaels-Brader and Matthew Noonan. I'm going to let them tell you a little bit about their chapter, about why they think it's important to step forward as awakened leaders at this time, and just what the audience can learn and get out of their chapter. So I'm going to go ahead and get off the screen here and let you guys take it over. Take your time and let's hear a little bit about your chapter.
Well, thank you, Aeriol. I think the first and most important part is why we decided to do the chapter to begin with. For me, it spoke to each of us a little differently. For me, it was the title of the book itself, Awakened Leaders, Empowering Stories of Self-Healing, Triumph, and Transformation, because that's exactly what I'm going through. It describes what I'm doing in my life. I'm in the process of recovering from drug and alcohol use over the last 25 years, 30 years of my life. And I'm doing it in the way of a spiritual awakened leader. I'm pursuing a spiritual path and something that's different from anything else that I was able to find out there. So it's a fairly unique one, and that's why I thought it was worth sharing.
And one of the reasons why I did this is Aeriol and I have known each other for a really long time, and she had asked me to participate in some of her beautiful projects, and I just wasn't ready. And through meditation and just ruminating with it when she asked this time, finally the answer that came through was yes. And I really, really wanted to be able to share Matthew's story and how he and I really got to the place where we could actually do the dance of life together.
Which, that's a good segue into the title of our chapter, which is called Empowered Recovery and the Dance of Life. As we were preparing for today, we decided that rather than try to reiterate a lot of what's in the chapter, we would just read some of what's in the chapter. So I'm going to do that. Have you ever been suffering to the point where you're ready to give up on life completely? Well, I was there about a year ago. Since my 25th birthday, I had this overwhelming knowing that when I turned 50, everything would change for me in my life. Just prior to my 50th birthday, I spent 2 weeks in an outpatient substance abuse program. Although I got some benefit from the program, it was not the change I was looking for. I turned 50, and I did not have some miraculous epiphany of what I needed to do next in order to shift my life. Once again, I was spiraling down into depression. I knew that the amount of substance I was using and the amount of alcohol I was drinking was killing me. The physical and emotional pain was constant. It caused my rage to bubble up to the surface, and I could be easily triggered by anything and anyone. I was even afraid of myself. About 5 days after my birthday, I received a text from Cathlene. She was wishing me happy birthday, and instead of texting her back, I simply pushed the dial button, and when she answered, I said, "I think you can help me."
And so when he called, it was very surprising. And so I responded and said, "What do you want me to help you with?" Matthew explained, "I need you to help me come off drugs and alcohol." I knew I could help him because I have extensive knowledge in alternative medicines and herbs and ways of being able to help people do this. However, what was important to consider was the boundaries needed to be established in certain areas. I was also hoping that we would have a more intimate relationship in time, so boundaries were necessary. I told him I can help you with several areas. The areas we can start with are with clearing, nutrition, herbal remedies, and I can be there for you in your process. I can't be your counselor. So when we get to the place where you need to have a counselor, we will get you one.
Most treatment centers require you to be sober when entering their programs. Without removing the triggers or causes that made me want to get high, how do I get sober? This was something that was a real issue for me, and it never made any sense to me. I needed help to get sober. One of the most significant things about being in recovery with Cathlene was that she didn't vilify substance or the person using it. We did not substitute one addiction for another. We started discovering the reasons why I needed drugs and alcohol to get through my life. And the reality was that I was using substance as a coping mechanism because I didn't have other tools.
And so when we got together, what happened was that I started introducing to him some healthy coping mechanisms. So when someone is trying to come off of substance and alcohol and substances, there are things that the brain and the body go through. So we needed to make sure that there was a correct protocol for him to go on with nutrition and with his supplements. And we started identifying ways for him to be able to clear the desire. And over the years, I have developed a 9-question protocol for discovery on all levels, not just for recovery, but for yourself when you want to clear the pathway in your life so that you can thrive in life.
And that 9-question protocol is really the vital part of the work that we do. We are actually now in business together. We have a healing practice. I'm a Reiki master and also a Theta practitioner. I may have already said that, but if I didn't. And what we do is when people come to us and they have any issue, whether it's something along the lines of substance abuse, but any problem that they're dealing with in their life, whether it's a physical pain or an emotional issue, we start asking these questions. We ask whether something is spiritual, mental, emotional, or physical. And once we pinpoint which one of those areas is where, or it can be in more than one. Many times a problem can bridge all of those. But we have different methods for addressing and helping to move through any one of the given areas.
So in addition to helping anyone, so part of the chapter we talk about how Matthew went through substance recovery, but we also talk about the dance of life that we do together. And so those same questions, when a subject comes up that is difficult in a relationship to address, then we usually go through those 4 questions. Is it mental, emotional, spiritual, or physical? And we address each one of those. And if it's emotional, then we clear it. If it's mental, then we talk about how our minds kind of repeat things and are protecting us. And in ways that it's just, that's what our mind does. And so we learn to work with the mind.
That's one of the most significant things. Learning that my mind, what seems like creating walls and barriers for me not to want to step out in life and do things, the reality that I've come to understand is that it is my mind which is actually trying to protect me, because it remembers all of the trauma that I've been through in my life, and it wants to keep me safe. It doesn't want me to step out and be vulnerable again. So that ability to acknowledge that has been monumental, and it's one of the things that we really do.
And in that same vein, for this talk today, there are lots of things that people go through, and not want to be seen, not want to be heard. And you clear out all of those processes and patterns that you have. And that's basically what we did, so we could be here with you today. And
it's been an interesting journey in the last several days, month actually. We've been preparing for this, and we've had to clear a lot of things out of the way so that we could step forward and be with you here today and share what we've been through.
And if anybody would like to contact us, you can contact us at cmlotus@sbcglobal.net. And we do have a website under construction, which is newparadigmhealing.net. So we would love to hear from you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome! Bravo! Bravo! Now, I know you guys were a little nervous, but I knew that you were going to be just fine. Riya, what did you think? Oh, we can't hear you, my friend. Hang on, let me get your mic.
Yes, Cathlene and Matt, thank you. I think it's wonderful. I love how do you guys share, each one read the stories, shared that. That's, I can't wait to read that book.
Thank
that
you.
chapter you guys talk about.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Cathlene is one of my oldest friends. We've been friends for probably more than 20 years, I'd say. So she wasn't kidding when she said that I keep trying to get her involved in all my projects and everything. After 20 years, it's pretty much like I Love Lucy over here. So thank you for being all in. I really love having you here, and it's just such an honor to be able to bring forward your story and to have that come. Here we have, April 20 is too far away. I'm ready for this story now. Well, I'll tell you what, Tori, we are going to do 3 authors every Thursday leading up to our book launch, so you can lean in and get some more awesome stories coming up, and we'll make sure that you get notified on April 20th. Val is still with us, and she says it's truly inspiring, and thank you so much for sharing, you guys. We also have Mira here with us, and she says it's great to hear about your healing program. It's just so wonderful to get real-time feedback about your presentation. So you see, there was nothing to be nervous about. Everything is just fine. Everybody's doing great. No problems at all. Alan, did you have any feedback or anything you want to say to Cathlene and Matthew today?
Oh, yes. I just love you guys. My wife and I were fortunate to know Cathlene and Matthew for a number of years before she passed. And we spent many a good times in the natural health food store and everything else, and through our own spiritual walks together. And I'm so glad that this program's finally coming together for you guys. I know you've been working really hard on it, and I'm anxious to read your story. So love to you both. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alan.
See, it's so nice when we get to the celebration part, right, everybody?
Absolutely.
It's so nice when we get to, yes, it's the celebration part. Okay, I'm going to take everybody off screen for just one moment here because I want to share one more of our fabulous reviews. Let's see if I can get this in here. There we go. I love this quote. I just took a snippet from the review from Andrea Lewis, who is a writer, poet, essayist, and she's the co-author of The Truth That Can't Be Told. And I shared this particular quote because I wanted to put Matthew at ease. And yesterday when they were doing their dress rehearsal with me, I was so touched by Matthew's honesty and vulnerability. And I selected this particular quote here. I can't but applaud the strength of the leaders who have unveiled their vulnerability and offered their stories for others to take inspiration as they go through their own life-changing transformation. Awakend Leaders offers something relatable to each reader. Read and be inspired. I love that. Read and be inspired. It's just wonderful to have you all be part of this. And can you believe the wonderful feedback that we are getting already from other inspiring leaders? I really, really, really think that it speaks to the timeliness of this project and just how awesome you guys all are. Okay, I'm going to get everybody back here on the screen with me before we shove off here. Oh, we have another one. Diana Pohle, says, "You are all inspirations. Can't wait to read your chapters." The fabulous Diana Pohle, as you remember, was on our broadcast last week and gave just a beautiful, beautiful, touching presentation about her family. So thank you, Diana. Thank you so much for being here right now with us. Okay, I want to just go around the room and let everybody just say what's on your mind. If you can give us a tip or just something that you want to leave us with today. Let's start with Alan. Alan, is there something you want to just say and wrap it up for our listeners today?
Oh, we've all been through so much over the years, especially the last couple of years with COVID and all the other stuff that goes along with it. But the thing that I found out that what really inspires me and really sticks into my mind is that when we go out to see, just be out in public, groceries or wherever, pick someone out of the crowd and smile for them.
Absolutely.
One of the things that I believe truly in my heart is that smile for someone, and I don't know how many times I've seen it, you brighten up their day. And some people are struggling so much that smile can change the rest of their day. So don't be afraid to engage in others and talk with them. Say, hi, how are you? I know we can't shake hands very well and stuff like that, but say a kind quote to a stranger and help to lift up them and their day. And in turn, you will be lifted up too.
Amazing. Thank you, Alan. We really, really appreciate that. Anything you guys want to say, Cathlene, Matthew?
I think just at this time in the world, with everything that's happening, especially overseas, that if we could all remember to just send love to everyone, not to be in judgment of anyone, but to send love to everyone, to the soldiers, to even the people that are behind, that are in power. When we send them our hate and we send them anything other than love, all it does is fuel them. But if we all could send them love, we might be really surprised at what happens.
Absolutely. Thank you, Matthew. We appreciate that. We really, really do. Riya, would you like to leave us with a little something today?
Thank you, Aeriol, and thank you, Alan. I think that is beautiful to say. Just a little smiling can change somebody's day, even changing ourselves, right? And Marshall said, since it's loving, be gentle with the people, even ourselves. When we be gentle with ourselves, so we're not self-criticizing, we're not criticizing other people. It's okay sometimes to be scared. It's okay sometimes not knowing how to deal with things. But at the end, we always find our way. That's the biggest love to the world, to ourselves, to everyone around us.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
Fantastic. Well, everybody, we are getting ready to wrap this party up. I think that it went pretty well. I hope that everybody out there who is listening will want to lean in. Don't forget that you're going to want to watch our series of authors speaking all during this month, leading up to our book launch on April 20th. And on April 20th, you will be able to get our book for $1.99 only for the first 24 hours, maybe 48 hours. We don't know yet. But you're going to want to get that. So be on the lookout, because we are not revealing the link to buy the book until April 20th. So stand by. Reach out to the authors, reach out to me. We'll make sure that you get that link. We want everybody to be included. I love it. I do have some last minute. This is filling me up. Thank you, Goddess of Joy. We love that. We love to hear that from you. You guys will remember that last week Robyn came on. Thank you, Goddess of Joy, Robyn. She came on last week, and she just is a ball of energy, just a beautiful, beautiful ball of energy. We got so much great feedback from her beautiful presentation about how she became the goddess of joy. And I'll leave you guys with this: blessings and love to all. Thank you, Val. We appreciate you being here with us today. Everybody, thank you so much for taking the time to lean in and watch our broadcast. Authors, I am so delighted to be bringing forward all of your chapters in our beautiful book. I think that this is going to be so amazing. The anticipation building up to April 20th is just going to be amazing. Okay, everybody,
Yay.
That's it. So we're going to sign off for today. Remember, everybody, be kind to each other, be loving to each other, and as Alan says, share your smile with a stranger. Okay, everybody, that's it for today.
Thank
We are
you.
going to
Bye.
sign
Thank you,
off for now.
everyone.
Thank you.